Wednesday, December the 8th. Lake level is right at 916. It's been coming down pretty good. It got up to about 917.5 last week after the rain, and it's continuing to come down. The water temperature is actually going up a little bit. It was about 58 degrees when I got off the lake this afternoon. Now I got my new Nitro Z21 back from the wrap shop. Just absolutely loving it. The guys at Tracker Rigging, Ed and Andrew, did an awesome job rigging everything up. But as far as the fishing goes, like I say, I've been out probably 3 days since my last fishing report. You know, and it's kind of a winter pattern. The deep bite is really good one day, not as good the next. The fish are kind of all in the same areas that I'm catching, just some days they bite better than others. Seems like the morning is the best time, you know, for the deep fish. Now today it got real sunny and not a breath of wind, and it got a little tougher throughout the day. But we caught several fish in the deeper creek arms. I fished around Kimberling this morning, but most of the fish were suspended or fairly close to bottom, but they were anywhere from 35 to as deep as 55 foot deep. And the main two baits we caught them on were an ice fishing jig and a white spoon. Now on these slab spoons, I don't think it really matters what brand you use. I've been using a War Eagle quite a bit. I've been using this new Jewel spoon some. Then I've got some old Dixie, I've been throwing a Dixie Jet flutter spoon some, but I've got another slab spoon called a Hazy Daisy. And I've been using that. It's a lot similar to the War Eagle spoon. But as far as on the ice fishing jig, today the smaller one seemed to produce better than the bigger one. One's a little chartreuse and white, and this is just kind of a shad color. It's a chrome and black. It worked well. Now sometimes the fish would bite it, would get the fish to slap at it 2 or 3 times before it would actually hook up. And whenever we got one hook, just like we talked about before in the fishing report, we usually got a lot of the fish worming, and we would catch a few more. I think we caught, like in one spot, up to as many as 5 or 6, which a lot of times you catch more, but we'd have to, catch 3 to 5 and then mill around with the trolling motor. Some of them were on top of the trees. Some of them were under big schools of shad. And today the schools of shad were anywhere from the surface down to as deep as 50 foot. Schools of shad we seemed to catch the fish out of the best where we could find that bait in 30 foot of water, or the shad was 30 foot deep, over 50 to 60, and there was fish underneath the shad, or they were coming out of the treetops. And we caught fish on a variety of things today. When that slowed down, we were actually fishing back in the center of a creek, and we noticed a little bit of shad activity in the very back. So we worked our way back in there, and I think we had 5, maybe 6 keepers in the back of a creek. We caught 1 or 2 on a jerkbait, a couple on a Spro rock crawler, and a couple on a 1/2 ounce pig sticker football jig with a Strike King baby rage craw for a trailer. The jerk baits, and I think these fish were fairly active because they were, every once in a while they were pushing that bait up. I think the person probably could have caught them on a spinner bait as well, but I was catching them on a Mega Bass and a Spro McStick. This is like an Aurora Black, and we also caught them on the Table Rock Shad, the purple and chartreuse. So we went to some other creeks. So first we went back out to the main lake and tried some main lake secondary points, which are usually pretty good jerkbait points, but with the lack of wind and the water so clear, I didn't have very much confidence in it. We didn't get any bites. But we started working our way back into the creeks, and the further we got back into creeks, we started seeing, more shad activity again. We didn't see any feeding activity, but there was bait flipping. And that's where we got a few more bites later in the day on a jig and on the jerkbait. But for the most part, it's the deep bites on one day and off the next. It's kind of crazy with the water temperature warming up. There's still a lot of fish shallow, and I think the fish are going to be shallow for quite a while. I actually don't think they know exactly which way they want to go. Gets cold at night, down to 40 degrees, then almost up to 70 in the day. So, but there, there's a good concentration of Kentuckies out on the main lake points, the flat gravel. Most of the fish we caught in the deeper cuts were largemouths. And we did catch some fish out on the main lake flat gravel points as well this morning. And they were anywhere from 35 to 45 feet deep, just, either on the bottom or just off. And normally, a lot of the places we didn't see very many fish. We would maybe mark 1 or 2 fish, so we'd stop to fish it. And once we hooked the fish, then there were several more. They must have been Loctite on the bottom. And once we got one hooked, you could see them come up and we'd get a few more bites. So till next week, good luck, good fishing.